Hi students, in this video class I am going to teach you washing soda or sodium carbonate. So so regarding this we need to discuss three things: preparation, and next one properties and uses. So these are the three things we are going to discuss about this one. So now let me start with the preparation of the sodium carbonate. Preparation. So guys, sodium carbonate or washing soda which is prepared through Solvay process. So this one is prepared through the Solvay process. So here to prepare this one through the Solvay process, raw materials are ammonia NH3. And the next one is brine solution. Brine solution means that is solution of NaCl. And next we need limestone. So here limestone, which is a source of the carbon dioxide. Limestone is a source of the carbon dioxide. So these are the raw materials to prepare the washing soda in Solvay process. So now this NH3, if it is treated with water and the next one carbon dioxide, so then we can get a salt, because you know that NH3 which is basic in nature, NH3 which is a Lewis base, that is basic in nature. Of course here lone pair also present. And the next one, so the mixture of H2O and CO2. So here these two react together and gives us H2CO3, carbonic acid. So here H2CO2 and H2CO3 both are in equilibrium. So finally you can say that this mixture is acidic in nature due to the formation of H2CO3. So now here base is present and here acid is present. So now here from here to here H plus transfer takes place. H plus transfer takes place. So then we can get here NH4 plus, and next one, so then what is the rest of the thing here? HCO3 minus. HCO3 minus we can get, and these two combine together and gives us NH4 HCO3. Ammonium bicarbonate we can get here. So right, when ammonia is treated with carbonated water, here we can get ammonium carbonate, which is a salt. Here ammonia is a base and this mixture is due to the formation of H2CO3, that is acidic in nature. So from acid to base H plus transfer takes place and you can get ammonium and HCO3 minus ions. So both attracted by each other and gives ammonium bicarbonate or ammonium hydrogen carbonate we can get. And the next one, this ammonium bicarbonate NH4 HCO3, when it is treated with NaCl, brine solution NaCl, so here we can get NH4Cl and NaHCO3. This is example for the double displacement reaction. Here NH4 place is occupied by Na and Na place is occupied by the NH4. So which is a double displacement reaction. So here we can get NH4Cl and NaHCO3. So now here this is our desired product, and here when you heat the 2 moles of the NaHCO3, so this one decomposes to, upon heating 2 moles of NaHCO3 decomposes to give Na2CO3 plus carbon dioxide gas plus water. So these are the things we can get here. So this is our desired product, sodium carbonate. So now you see second reaction. In this reaction, so we have got NH4Cl. So this NH4Cl, when it is treated with calcium hydroxide, CaOH taken twice, ammonia will be generated. will be regenerated, and byproducts here CO2 gas, CaCl2 plus water also we can use, and we can use this one in the first step again. So here ammonia is regenerated when ammonium chloride, here ammonium chloride is formed. So this one, when you treat with the calcium hydroxide, ammonia is regenerated. So again we can use this one as a raw material in the solvent process. Okay, so this is our desired product guys here. So here ammonia, sodium carbonate. So here in solvent process we cannot prepare all the carbonates of the first A group, means K2CO3 and next one Rb2CO3 and next one CS2CO3. We cannot prepare these carbonates because their bicarbonates are highly soluble in water. But you see guys, this one, which one? NaHCO3, so which is sparingly soluble in water, which is sparingly soluble in water. But the carbonates of the potassium, rubidium, cesium, they are fairly soluble. So they are fairly soluble. That's why it is very difficult the preparation of these three carbonates. So now actually in this reaction, after completion of this reaction here, we can get the NaHCO3 which is sparingly soluble in water. So now this one we can separate through the filtration from their impurities. So in this reaction we can get NaHCO3 when you treat the ammonium bicarbonate with the NaCl, and which is insoluble in water. So that's why we can separate this one through the filtration, and the filtered NaCO3, that is pure, and that one upon heating we can get the sodium carbonate. But in case of potassium carbonate, KHCO3 and RbHCO3 and CSHCO3, these bicarbonates are highly soluble in water. So due to that reason, it is very difficult to filtrate them from the impurities. So that's why we cannot prepare the potassium carbonate and other carbonates of the first A group through the solvent process. So I will give you the solubility order of the bicarbonate. NaHCO3 is less soluble than potassium carbonate and less soluble than RbHCO3, rubidium hydrogen carbonate, and which is less soluble than cesium hydrogen carbonate. So this is the solubility order of the bicarbonates of the first A group elements in water. This one is less soluble in water, so that's why we can prepare the Na2CO3 through the solvent process. This is about the preparation. So right students, next one, properties of the washing soda. So first one, which is white crystalline solid. Washing soda is a white crystalline solid. And next one, so this one undergoes dehydration upon heating. The sodium carbonate present in two forms, hydrated sodium carbonate and anhydrated sodium carbonate. So hydrated sodium carbonate means that is nothing but a washing soda, Na2CO3.10H2O. So this is washing soda, or also known as hydrated sodium carbonate. Upon heating, and this is also known as water of crystallization of the sodium carbonate. Okay. And upon heating that is less than 373 kelvins. So then here dehydration takes place. 9 water molecules removal takes place. So you can get Na2CO3.H2O. 9 water molecules are removed here. Next one, when you heat it strongly, greater than 373 kelvins. So then this one also comes out. So further dehydration takes place, and gives us Na2CO3. So this one molecule or one water molecule also removed here. So now this is thermally highly stable. Upon heating, this one won't decompose. Okay, so this is about the dehydration of the washing soda. Upon heating, washing soda undergoes dehydration. And the next one, solubility. Solubility. So right guys, so you take a water container and you place water in this and you add Na2CO3. When you add this one in water, so this one is soluble, this one soluble, and the next one lot of energy, heat energy also liberated. Heat energy also liberated. So then you can say that this is an exothermic process, because so on dissolution of the Na2CO3, heat energy is liberated. So then you can say that which is a exothermic process. So whatever here, this one is soluble in water. And next guys, very important thing, this solution is basic in nature. Na2CO3 solution is basic in nature. That is basic in nature. Why this is basic in nature? Why the solution of Na2CO3 is basic in nature? You can easily understand that if you know the reaction between water and next one Na2CO3. So Na2CO3 after placing in water, so between these two reaction takes place guys. So now you see here water, in water H plus ions and OH minus ions are present. And here Na2CO3, in this also we have Na plus ions and NaCO3 minus ions are present. Na plus ions and NaCO3 minus ions are present. So now here this path combined with the NaCO3 and gives us NaHCO3, and this Na plus combined with OH and gives us NaOH. So now when you add Na2CO3 in water, you are going to get sodium hydroxide, and due to the formation of these two chemicals, this is slightly basic in nature, right? This one is basic in nature. And the next one, reaction with acids. Reaction with acids, next one. This is very important. Reaction with the acids. Okay guys. So this Na2CO3, when it is treated with HCl, so from this we can get NaCl plus NaHCO3, and this one furtherly when you treat with NaHCO3, furtherly treat with HCl again, so you will get NaCl plus, and you can get here H2O plus carbon dioxide. So now from these two steps we can write the net reaction. NaHCO3 and NaHCO3 both are get cancelled, and the next one Na2CO3 is there and 2 HCl's are there, and gives rise to two molecules of NaCl plus water, and the next one carbon dioxide. So when you treat the sodium carbonate with the HCl or any acid, you can get salt, water, and the next one carbon dioxide. So this time let me treat with H2SO4, Na2CO3, which is first one and second one. Na2CO3 when it is treated with H2SO4, so we can get here Na2SO4. Simply this portion combined with the Na and gives Na2SO4, and the next one we can get here H2O plus CO2. H2O plus CO2 we can get. So right guys, when you place Na2CO3 in acid, we can get the respect to salt, water, and next one one carbon dioxide. So next reaction with carbon dioxide. Reaction with carbon dioxide. So let us see what happens when you treat sodium carbonate with the carbon dioxide. So write Na2CO3 plus water and next one carbon dioxide. So then when you treat this carbonate and water with Na2CO3, simply you can get here NaHCO3. You can get here 2 moles of the NaHCO3, and here this one is sparingly soluble in water. So this is not much more soluble in water, which is sparingly soluble salt in water. So due to the formation of this one, here Na2CO3 is precipitated when you treat with the CO2 due to the formation of sodium bicarbonate. So guys, when you treat the sodium carbonate with water, which is precipitated due to the formation of sodium hydrogen carbonate. And the next one, reaction with silica, SiO2. So now let us see what happens. Na2CO3 when you treat with SiO2. So write guys, to understand easily, so let me write this one line, Na2O and next one CO2. So to get easily this reaction, so this molecule I divided as Na2O and CO2. And you know guys, this part is basic in nature and which is acidic in nature. And this is the non-metal oxide. Non-metal oxides are generally acidic in nature, which is metal oxide basic in nature. So both combine together and gives NaSiO3, Na2SiO3, Na2SiO3, which is sodium silicate. So when you treat the sodium carbonate with SiO2, we can get sodium silicate, and here byproduct is carbon dioxide. Byproduct is carbon dioxide. And next reaction, reaction with sulfur dioxide and sulfur. This Na2CO3, when it is treated with SO2 first, let us see what are the products we are going to get. So here also this molecule divide into Na2O and next one CO2, which is basic and which is acidic in nature. So both combine together and gives us Na2SO3, 2 oxygens, 1 oxygen, so SO3, and we will get here carbon dioxide gas, CO2 gas. And this one, when you treat with sulfur, so you will get here Na2S2O3. So you know that which is hypo. So we will get the hypo when you treat the sodium carbonate with sulfur dioxide and followed by sulfur. And last one, reaction with non-alkali metal salts. Non-alkali metal salts. So for example, CuSO4. CuSO4 when it is treated with Na2CO3, we will get CaCO3 plus Na2SO4, right? CuCO3 we can get. Copper sulfate when it is treated with the sodium carbonate, we can get copper carbonate, and next one Na2SO4, that is sodium sulfate. So this is about the chemical properties of the sodium carbonate. So guys,